boys. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer edition, and ooh boy, do we have a special treat for you. Not just are we going to talk about Beer Bad, largely considered the worst Buffy the Vampire Slayer ever. We also have joining us in studio, in his own studio, anyways,
Yeah.
which may double as a couple other things. We have Ferris Muthana here with us. Ferris, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great.
You're doing great, even though you just finished watching this episode.
Yeah.
You like this episode? This is your first time watching it, right? This is your first time ever watching it.
First time ever watching this. Adelia told me what you just said. It's considered the worst episode.
Yeah.
I guess that means the bar for the episodes after this and before this must be extremely high because I don't think this was that bad. Mm-hmm. Was it great? No. But it wasn't like horrible.
I will say, I'd rather watch this episode 24 times for every episode of, say, like 911 Lone Star.
Hey, watch yourself.
FBI International.
That show no longer. I got canceled.
Yeah, there's a reason. I kept writing letters. It's the only time.
What? That's why you got taken off air, Robert.
It still works.
Dang
Letter writing campaigns. People don't use cursive enough. All right. Yeah. So we're going to talk about just trying to delay. We're just delaying Beer Bad and stuff. Do you really like the international version?
I quite enjoyed it. Yeah.
Oh boy. But how about Lone Star 911?
You mean 911 Lone Star? Yes, with Rob Lowe.
Oh
yeah,
boy,
I liked it.
Oh brother. Okay. Oh my gosh. Back to
shout to Gina Torres, Jessica Pearson from Suits. Liv Tyler was in the first season.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
that was kind of. My wife enjoys the show. She would put it on like she's watching it when I'd go to bed and stuff like that. Have my eye open and stuff like that. It's like, oh, I know her, and then didn't see her again for a long time. Saw Rob Lowe all the time. He was I don't. Not a fan. Not a fan. Now, moving on here, Ferris. For goodness sakes, we got stuff to do.
Yeah.
The original air date for Beer Bad, November 2nd, 1999. Boy, do I remember.
Oh, yeah, this episode.
He gets it. It. Do I ever remember where I was? November 2nd, 99. I was probably somewhere in Ontario. So there you go. Written by Tracy Forbes.
November 2nd, 99?
Yeah.
I was a year old.
You are a monster. I've said it before, and I will say it again, guys, a million times. It was written by Tracy Forbes, her first episode. She's going to write 2 more somehow. But speaking of Toronto, she's also from Toronto. So there you go. We brought it back.
Let's go all the way around. Go to Panthers.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes.
I can't stand the
Leafs. I can't stand it. All right. It's also directed by David Solomon. The last episode he directed Prom. Now, the movie at this time in North America, probably the world, House on Haunted Hill, the remake of Haunted Hill. Remember this one?
No, I was one.
That's what. It had to do with a haunted house. Something that we may be covering very soon on an episode of Rewatchers Council Angel Edition. Haunted Hill had Jeffrey Rush. Remember, he was pretty popular at the time. I think just won an Oscar for Shine, if I remember right around that time.
Wait, isn't Jeffrey Rush the one of the pirate in Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl?
I don't know if he's
Barbosa.
Barbosa. I was gonna say I couldn't remember if he was Davy Jones or who the heck he was.
No. Yeah. Davy Jones was Bill Nighy.
Oh, sure, yeah, nice. Famke Janssen's in that one, and also Peter. You don't know who Famke Janssen is? She was who was she? Like the Phoenix or whatever from X-Men. Those X-Men.
Oh, Famke Janssen. No, I know. Yeah, I know her. Yeah.
Sure, now you do. Also, Peter Gallagher.
Jean Grey. She's Jean Grey.
Yeah. Peter Gallagher in there. I don't know how big a role he has. I just put him down because him and Parker. I basically said last time that Parker was created from one of Peter Gallagher's eyebrow hairs. They're Basically, he's a
Peter Gallagher, any relation to Oasis?
I don't think he is. No,
Okay.
he's
Just a
not.
question.
He's not. Nor is he a relation to that guy who smashes the watermelons.
I don't know who that guy is.
I think his name is just Gallagher. Now,
Okay.
the number one song in your United States. You're proudly American. I know this, right? Number one song, "Smooth" by Santana.
Yeah.
It will be
Uh-huh.
number one song throughout the rest of the year. There will be no surprises.
Smooth, by the way, Santana from San Francisco.
There you go. That's right.
Yes.
Oye, como va? I don't know what that means. I know they sing it. Now, in Canada, again, on a huge run of number one weeks, Mambo number 5 by Lou Bega. It was almost a national anthem, Ferris. I wish I was kidding about that. Now, the number one song in the UK, I'd never heard before until this afternoon. I said, well, I should listen to this real quick before coming on air with Ferris Mathana. Flying Without Wings by Westlife.
I have no idea what that song is.
Listening to that has to be one of the worst moments of my life. I hated it so much. I hated it. An English boy band with like they're playing. It's a goddamn ballad. It's a boy band ballad with like all the violins and stuff like that. The guy playing like two strings and like basically he has a chord, but he's just plucking one thing. Oh, it's terrible. And the pretend soul in their voice is gross. Anyways, moving on. Don't, guys. Westlife sucks. Boy band stuff sucks. I'm sorry to say. And I know you. I guess you were an infant at the height of the boy band era. You got to miss it. You're a lucky boy. Now, the DVD synopsis.
But I do want it that way.
Tell me why.
All right.
Okay, I think we've done enough. Buffy
We can't go more than that.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, legally, that's all we're allowed.
Mm.
Buffy starts behaving strangely after sharing a pitcher of Black Frost beer with a group of fellow college students at the campus pub, where somehow now Xander is the bartender. Oh my god. Okay, so
He needed a job.
this is he does a good job. All right.
Okay. I said he needed a job, not he didn't do a good job.
Yeah, he did.
I didn't say he did a good job. He needed a job.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot going wrong and all that, and if we go into all this or whatever, it's going to be incredibly long, and I'll just get mad. So this episode supposedly was written to take advantage of some funding from the Office of the National Drug Control Policy here in Ferris. They offered it to shows that promoted an anti-drug message.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't get any money though because they decided that the otherworldly nonsense in it, and that it was how real kids would never take drugs this way or whatever. So they said, no, you don't get it. I don't know how much money they could have gotten, like $40 or $50 probably. So I say this episode actually contributed to the rise of drug use, especially in me and some others who enjoy the show, trying to forget beer bad. Okay, starting out, of course, Buffy daydreaming here, Ferris, about saving Parker yet again, and him, thanking her profusely and wanting forgiveness, and then we find out, they flip over to Ms. Walsh's class, and you get to see, she's talking about the id and the ego and the super ego, and then starts talking about the passion principle. Of course, Parker is just around Buffy all the time for some reason. Like, I guess this university only has 4 classes.
I think so.
And every one, like, she's making, like, Buffy gets in trouble in their first day of university for asking one question to a girl from some teacher. This guy's trying to make out with a girl in every class, and they're fine with it. They're fine with it. Well, so
I don't want to say it.
The 90s were different time, poor time. It 100%. It is 100%. Now they're talking about the pleasure principle, and this manifests in Buffy as Parker. This time apologizing with the flowers. A big, I don't know if that's a Slurpee or a soda that he's offering her. Also, of course, the shirt's open here. I don't know what that's supposed to be. It wasn't a beer. It wasn't a beer that he was offering. I can tell you that. 'Cause it has straw. Now, moving on, with the gangs gathered in the university quad now, used to be the high school quad. Xander comes up. He's got a job. Ferris. He's
Got a
the
job.
new he's the new bartender at the campus pub. Now, Xander is 18 years old,
Hmm.
like our heroes here. Of course, legally not allowed to serve alcohol
He is.
whatsoever. What's that? He
He
is.
is. Yeah.
He's there. That's illegal. You're legally allowed to do that 3
You
years
can
before.
you can sell alcohol in an establishment if you have someone of
How can
legal
you
age
possibly? Well, if you have
near.
someone, let's just
Yeah,
near
like
you.
your boss can supervise you.
So when he goes and tells that guy, "I need ID from you," and the guy just says, "Serve him beer," it wouldn't be Xander who would be getting shit. It would just be the guy
It
who.
would it would be his boss. Yes, it
Oh,
would.
good. Well,
Yeah.
they should have had somebody come in then
Hmm.
because this is ridiculous. Yeah. No, no, no.
He's in
Yeah,
Canada, Rob.
yeah. We get fined. We'll get the place shut down. I did
Yeah.
like that he did have. So what did he need a fake ID for? If he's legally allowed to serve it,
Oh,
I don't know.
Xander?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's an idiot.
yeah. I did like the mustache. The mustache touch was nice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say
I
that.
think Rob, I think we've realized that Xander is a moron.
Yeah, I think that's true. But so people are enabling him. You got the guy at the pub enabling. Everybody just seems to let Xander be a moron. Also, no Anya at all in this episode. We're gonna say that too. Don't no one ever explains what she's up to. It's not like she has a job or anything, and doesn't go and hang out at the bar. Also, he's chatting up girls and stuff like that, practicing his lighter move. For some reason, I bartended for a long time. I've never had to light anyone's cigarette, even when there was smoking inside. It would just mean, you know, you've got to give people a little bit of space. You can talk to them, but you're not supposed to be all over them.
Damn, Rob, you're
What are
from
you
the
gonna
generation where you could smoke inside. Damn, dog.
Oh, I'm from that generation. Gee whiz. Why do you think my voice is so nice? You know.
It's true, man. You have a nice voice. You
Oh
really do.
my God, are you kidding me? Anyways, he has Buffy and Willow. They're going to be dropping by, but Willow's got a date with Oz at the old Bronze. We're going to have a little trip back to the Bronze in this episode. Ferris, uh, Buffy doesn't know what she's going to do and stuff like that. And then she starts talking about a fantasy where Parker has her in this perfect bubble and stuff like that, and he's ready to pop her out. And Willow mentions that people's minds should be stronger than their penises, but Buffy's still defending Parker for whatever reason. This is, none of this makes sense. Now, we go to the pub, and it's
Mhm.
Xander's first day. I don't know what this other guy is doing, but he's there, and he has the entire wood packed with people yelling at him for all kinds of drinks. He can't even. He asks if water on the rocks has ice in it. This isn't great. Not a great look.
Mhm.
So Buffy comes by. Of course, he sees Parker. She runs into Riley. Riley wants to give her advice. She's not listening, just fascinated on Parker. Then he leaves to go meet people. Parker and this other girl start making out. So maybe now it's finally going to come to Buffy's head. Maybe Parker isn't the right guy for him.
Mhm.
After all of this, then we get to see Xander talking with a sorority girl. It's actually going along pretty well. And then here comes the douchebag, the typical 80s prep guy, thinks he's better than everybody. Of course, I don't know if this is supposed to be his girlfriend or who, but he wants to act like an entitled asshole towards Xander. Xander takes a bunch of shit from the guy, and this guy wants to know Xander's thoughts about whatever this is, and he's like, okay, whatever. Uh, he finally says, you know what, you got ID for this because you're not getting served another drop until, and then of course the owner says, it's just serving the beer. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. There's a, you know
He's
what?
a bad. He's a bad person.
Well, I'm not. I don't think we're spoiling anything, but yes, I'm saying, yeah, he's a bad person.
Yes.
He is the reason why all this crap is going on and on and on. But anyways, Buffy's sitting at the bar. She's starting to tell Xander about Parker, and she has this idea of leaving him for vamps to kill and stuff like that. For some reason, Xander's like, Buffy. They were all for him getting beaten up last week. They had no problem with this, but all of a sudden, now there's this. She starts calling herself a slut. One thing that this show does really well is have Buffy beat up on herself. They're always having Buffy beat up on
And then
herself.
she rises above it.
She's an 18-year-old who's had sex in her life twice, and every time the people have turned out to be monsters.
Yeah.
Also,
one literally.
Yeah, she's about to have her first drink ever, and it turns her into, well, we'll see in a minute. You know what I mean, though. Now, they've she goes walking around, she bumps into one of these other preppy guys and insists that she comes drink with them, this 18-year-old girl or whatever. Of course, it happens to be a friend of the douchebag guys, so now there's a whole gaggle of douches sitting around the table wanting Buffy to
Hey,
drink
you
with
know
them.
what's funny? One of the douches, I wasn't really noticing them, and then like towards the end, I kind of noticed them. One of them is Carl Penn.
Close. One of them is Cal Penn. One of them
Cal
is
Penn, my bad. Yeah, sorry.
one of them is literally Kumar. Now
Who's
he's talking.
Kumar?
Yeah, one of his first roles or whatever on TV. But he was saying like he did this. He'll be in an episode of Angel later, and he said what he really enjoyed about this is because of course he was getting the stereotypical roles and stuff like that given out and stuff like that. You can be this type of person. This one is just be a person. It's like you're a college
Yeah.
kid. So yeah,
He's
he,
also
re-
a
he really appreciated it.
former Obama administration member, Cal Penn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gave it up. I thought you were going to mention House. I thought you were for sure you're going to mention how he's on House for a
I'm
while.
only on season 2 of House, so I don't.
Oh boy! Spoiler alerts for House.
Dang it!
Spoiler
Come
alerts
on,
for
dog. What's wrong with you?
Unreal. Yeah, but guess what? We're spoiling a show that's almost as old now.
Yes.
Yeah. So we cut over to the Bronze and Oz and Willow, and this isn't good. Oz starts getting a face like he just smelled a rancid fart or something like that. Maybe it's worse though, because here comes Veruca. Veruca,
Yo, Rob,
shine. Yeah,
she's a werewolf, right? She's a werewolf.
we're gonna find out. You'll find out if she is or what. What are you talking about? What are
Nah,
you
man,
talking about?
because in the recap they showed how he saw her walk and they were walking and they like met eyes and was like,
Yep.
werewolf smelling werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like dogs when dogs sniff each other's butts.
You may very well be right, but tune in next week to the Rewatchers Council to see if Ferris could be correct or not. Anyways, Willow is obviously uncomfortable with this. She starts suggesting maybe they could go home and she can feed him some soup or something like that. Like this isn't good. She knows, you know what, this isn't good. Not only is that not good, but also
Feed
that
him
band,
some soup.
yeah, that band sucks. It was terrible to listen to.
Yeah,
So the band's name Shy. The actual band that played, I found out, was named THC. THC on an anti-drug episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Ferris, how about that?
That's Joss Whedon messing with people.
Yeah, that's just people, being a little dirty, going a little dirty on this one. Anyways, we'll ask if he knows Veruca for whatever reason. He says no, but he knows the drummer. All right. Well, I don't get it. Anyways, he still can't stop staring at her. Blah blah blah. So, we go back to the bar where Buffy's at, and they keep going on about the douchiest stuff about how the world problems can be solved by beer. And then Buffy starts saying how Joy said beer was evil, but we do know that she does not think schnapps is evil, because there was an episode when she first gets back from LA. And her and her buddy got into the schnapps, if you remember. Now, the lead douche guy goes on about good and evil absolutes. He starts losing focus in the middle of it, though, and he continues on about how beer determined good and bad. Well, okay, whatever. These guys. You know what? 19-year-old kids always think they're so smart. Right, Ferris? How old are you again? Never mind.
25.
Never mind. Anyway, they all cheers. So we get to see
Ryan
the.
Christensen. This sounds like the 2018 Canadian
Oh,
junior team.
you not no no no
What
no
what
no no
what
no.
happened to 2018 junior
We can
Canada?
we can talk about that later. So
Mm.
the next morning we get to see Willow muttering about Veruca. For some reason, thought that Willow was a groupie. You know, we see Buffy looking a little dumber maybe than usual while watching music videos. Supposedly she's hungover. That's not what a hangover looks like. I can tell you that, guys. She says she was with 4 smart guys instead of Parker. Of course, Willow's going to take this the absolute wrong way, which is one of the only fun moments of this episode. She says she had lots of beer, which was nice. It was foamy, Ferris, which is an adjective she used quite a bit, and comforting. Somehow she goes simple words and like comforting. I didn't like that
Foamy
word.
beer is horrible, man. If you don't know how to, because the way you gotta, I know there's like they got a trick
Mm-hmm.
for the little tabs. You gotta aim it at like an angle.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm,
Go hard in at an angle. You have to let the air come with it and stuff like that. You want to get ahead about that high. Put the size of your finger so on a beer. I had to teach people to do that. That new stadium that they built in Minneapolis. I was there the day they opened. I think it was a Chelsea match against Roma. So I
you
had,
talking about the Vikings?
yeah, the Vikings.
M&T Bank Stadium,
Yeah, whatever. The thing that looks like a sand crawler.
or
But
Bank of America Stadium, or whatever the hell
yeah,
it's
one
called.
one of them. So yeah, I
Yeah.
had to teach people how to pour beers because those people were green as hell. They had no
Wait, what do
idea
you mean?
what they were doing.
You got hired? How did?
No. I went to go get beer. They didn't know how to pour it, so I had to show them. So I did that
Mm,
for a couple minutes, just show them how to pour beer. That was it. Now,
you didn't get paid.
didn't get paid, and I had to pay for my own beer. That also sucked.
I would have given you a free beer, Rob.
Well,
I want you to know
thanks.
that.
I appreciate that, buddy. Would it be a comforting beer,
Yes,
perhaps?
it would have been.
Ah,
It would have been a beer you poured, and I'd be like, "That's all you, man."
that's great. Well, back to the show. Now, Willow is wishing Parker some harm here. At least, she gets it. She says they can at least put spitballs at him in class, which is I don't think that would be too terrific. It's
Mhm.
unsanitary, I can tell you that. Now Buffy goes to join her. She forgets that she's still in her PJs, so you might want to, get dressed. Get to see Buffy in class. Just take a girl's sandwich. Hungry, so takes a girl's sandwich. The girl does nothing about it. If someone
Yeah,
you've recently been in college, if someone behind you just decided I'm going to eat Ferris Mathana sandwich, would you just give that up? You say,
that'll be the last thing they'll ever do.
oh boy. Well, after this, we get to see a chemistry set of all things in the back room of the bar,
Mhm.
and a liquid slowly dripping into an opened keg of Black Frost beer. By the way, that thing is open. That beer is going to be absolutely disgusting because all the carbonation is going to go out. That is going to be flat. It's basically going to be worse than an English beer. At least
Mm.
English beers have, some foaminess to it, if you know what I mean. Now, Buffy's back with the dumb, smart guys again. Absolutely hammered. They're all talking like a bunch of dummies. She's Xander starts ignoring. Xander's been practicing this whole cigarette thing for the first little while that we've seen him.
Mhm.
Finally, there's a girl there who's had a rough day. She wants to tell him about it. She asks him for a light, and he just holds up the no smoking sign. It's like, okay, that was fine. That was a good one.
Mm.
Yeah, but yeah, all this practice down the tubes, Ferris. Now,
Yeah, but he's staring at like Buffy and them. It's like
yep,
just
yeah,
mm.
yes, oh yeah, and they're just sitting around calling each other stupid. No, you're stupid. Oh
Yeah.
my god. And then one guy falls over. They start laughing about this. Yes, this isn't the Mensa bunch anymore.
Not anymore.
Not nope, not one of them.
Nope.
No. Then one of these dummies, walks into the street. Sorry. Then we we find Willow. Somehow Oz missed class because of band practice. He tells her that Shy is going to be playing again. That
Mhm.
they just asked him to sit in. They're playing original songs. How is he just
Mhm.
going to sit in, not knowing any of these people? Knows the drummer.
Mhm.
Doesn't sound. You know what? I don't think this sounds on the up and up. That's just between me and you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you,
Yeah.
man.
She.
Something shenanigans are afoot.
Yeah. This isn't great. He
My
asks if
favorite
she wants to.
phrase.
Do you want to go? She says no. She'd rather go study. Just walks off. We see Xander start playing the jukebox. Then dumb Buffy goes over, cuts them off afterwards because she thinks the music box is sentient for whatever reason. Tells them to go home. The other dummies start wondering where the girl went. Blah blah blah. And then we see somehow this scene made no sense to me at all. Willow says she's just going to go study, right?
Mhm.
So she goes for some reason to an abandoned basement cafeteria where the only other person in there is Parker Abrams.
She was looking for him. She was gonna hunt him down and whoop his ass.
But they never mentioned any of this before. Why would she make it a secret from Oz? Because I'm going to go teach that Parker boy a lesson, kind of thing.
Mhm.
Anyways, she starts asking how he could treat Buffy that way. He starts playing dumb, so he shouldn't have to explain himself to her of all people.
Mhm.
Then starts laying on that same spiel he gives all the girls about how relationships are about points of light. Ferris, so don't whatever you do, Ferris, do not copy what this guy says. But
Absolutely
how
not.
great the relationships are points of light and they briefly enrich each other, Ferris, for goodness sakes, and that people should be able to come together for a night and then go back to their lives. Wouldn't that be? Isn't that how it's supposed to be? They just shouldn't analyze it, is what I'm saying. Ferris, you know what I mean?
He described casual sex. So he thinks he's smart.
He's flower. He's trying to
Yeah.
be all flowery.
Yeah.
Will tell them that some people think that intimacy assumes friendship and respect, for goodness sake. He
Mhm.
tells her that assuming sex means a relationship takes the fire out of it. It just takes all the fire. Oh my god. She starts playing along now. You can tell. He says he doesn't regret it, and he's sorry that Buffy's hurting and feels misled. He didn't mean it and calls her a good friend for caring so much for Buffy.
Mhm.
Oh, we get it now. We get it. Meanwhile, we get to see those dumb morons. They're acting a little more, what's the word? Neanderthalic? Is that a good way to say it?
Yes.
Xander tells
Perfect.
them to pay up and go. One, I guess they have a limited amount of reason left in their brain. One just grabs a stack of money and just throws it on the table. I do like how Xander assumes that, they will be giving him a 30% tip for all this. And somehow through all of this beer, it only costs $40. That's when you can say,
What a world we used to live in.
I could say, God bless America for that,
Mhm.
because these guys absolutely tanked on $40. Good for them. Good. That's only $10 each. But one other guy said, "Well, do you think 30% is fair?" Another guy just starts throwing more money and stuff like that, which is, very good, very good of them.
Cool me.
So yeah, he then hears a crash coming from the washroom though, and he turns to look and that head dummy is a caveman now. Ferris,
Mhm.
this all happened very fast. Knocks Xander out, of course. And I'm beginning to think we should have had a times Xander gets knocked out board instead of
Yes.
Giles. But how would I be able to fit it all into one little whiteboard thing? There's no
Too
way it
much.
would do it. I need like a
It wouldn't fit.
chalkboard. I
Yeah.
need a chalkboard.
Like a big one. The
Yeah,
ones
like
the
a
big
like
one.
in a classroom and I had like
Yes.
the map that
Yes.
folds down or
Yes.
whatever.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous. Anyways, Xander wakes up. The guy's just over him yelling. The other three still lucid here somehow.
Mhm.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. They become cavemen themselves right away. Uh, it's like those Geico commercials. You remember those?
Yep. So easy a caveman could do it.
So easy a caveman. Remember they made a television show about this?
Yep. And was erased off of existence.
Do you know who was in that television show?
I heard it was somebody famous, but I don't remember.
Nick Kroll. Nick
Yeah.
Kroll
Yeah.
was in
Yeah.
something. Oh boy. Anyway, Xander then frightens them off with his lighter. There you go. Fire bad. Remember that.
Mhm.
He finds out his boss is behind the whole thing just to
Mm-hmm.
teach these dumb jerks a lesson. Turns out he got the recipe from his warlock brother-in-law. They just throw that around now over at the college. Used to be a
Man, you know what,
secret.
man?
Used to be a secret.
God damn it, man. Why can't I have a warlock brother-in-law? It would help me a lot.
You never know. You know what? I accused you of being a witch on this past episode of Starting 11, only on the Let's Get Ready Network Sports edition, because somehow you got 7 right again
Oh, yes.
last week. I got 2. I got 2.
Oh, I got 7. Wait. How many matches were last week?
10.
I got 3 wrong.
Yeah. I got 2 right. I got 2 correct. So there you go. Now, back to the dumb morons. They're all hurting each other now. They're laughing about it. Finally, Xander remembers that, Buffy was drinking that beer too. The bar guy says it's going to wear off in a day or so, but knowing
Yeah.
Buffy, this could be too late. You know, you give a
Someone,
superhero.
someone could, because Xander says someone could die in that in a day or in a day and some change.
Yeah, he could be like Captain Caveman. Except Captain
Yeah.
Caveman got it, and he could solve mysteries.
Yeah.
But one of the cave dummies decides he's going to go walk off into the street. Somehow gets hit by a car. Yeah, it was pretty. It wasn't a dimly lit street. You know, it was
No.
quite like, I don't know, what's this guy doing? He, can't see a caveman walking to the middle of the street. Anyways, he says he doesn't hit him. So he starts running away from his car. Well, that was the last thing I do. Get in, drive away. What do you, I guess, you can't say it's a hit and run unless, I guess he's the one running. The car's still there. I don't know how that would work. I'd probably get arrested. Anyways, these guys started attacking.
He also ran when he hit the guy. Then he saw what he looked like, and then he saw his friends. So he was like, "Oh my god!" and he ran away.
Yeah, well, I would have taken. I would have taken the car. But these guys start beating up the car. You see 2 girls come out of the college there. They see these cave guys beating this car up. They still walk towards it. Not only do they start running when they're exactly parallel with these guys. I don't know. You see,
hey man, they're interested, man. They want to know what's going on.
Well, maybe that's the thing. It was a whole thing. I remember. If I remember, November 1999, chicks were into the caveman look. If you know what I mean.
That's what I've heard.
Yep. Don't shave. Don't bathe. Dental hygiene. Forget about
Optional.
it. Very optional. Now, so they start chasing after them. We see Xander. So Xander's concerned about Buffy. So what does he do? He goes to get Giles. So he starts getting in shit on the way there for selling beers to underage girls, whilst also being underage himself. And then I found out that you can serve beer basically if you're 14 in America. I think.
Okay, well let's not get crazy.
Isn't that exactly what you said? I can't remember.
No, I said you need somebody. You need somebody there. Of age.
Sure. Yep.
Yes. And the thing is also this bar also sold food. Okay. If it was just a brewery.
Yep.
And it's just beer, nobody under the age of 18 is allowed in there. But if did you also sell
did they sell food? I only saw the bar. I never saw the food.
I thought they're all criminals. Yeah. They're all criminals. That's why bars sell food.
Yeah.
Be like, we also sell food so they can hire anybody.
There's a bunch of reasons why bars sell food. I can tell you about it some other time here.
Also, too, man, you know what? If dudes want to make some money, let make some money, man.
Sure. Whatever. We're not the cops. I'm not going to call.
Yeah, I'm not the cop. I'm not going to rat you out.
What do you want me to do?
But still, don't sell to underage people.
Yeah, if you know they're the same age as you, and you're an underage person,
get out of my face.
Just send them off to war instead. They can do that.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, come back with your military ID, then I'll sell you some. That's legal, actually. You know that?
What is it? You can.
Yeah. You can.
That's one of the big draws.
That's one of the big benefits of having a military ID at 20 or 19.
So smart.
I'm an armyman or an armyman.
Yeah,
I'm a Marine. At 20.
Sure. Could be any branch of the military.
Yeah.
Now,
any branch.
So Xander says that he's not the dad. Buffy, she's a grown up. She's not.
No.
Obviously, she is not. You can be, yeah. It's hard to say people are grown. I don't even like using the word or whatever of age.
There's no such
They
thing as
should
a grown up.
they
There's
should
no
have
such thing.
there should be a maturity level and not an age level. But anyways, she says he's going to start saying that she's smart enough to make her own choices. But of course he's going to trail off because they get to Buffy's room and she's just cave painting. For God's sakes.
Yep.
Now all these other guys have turned into troglodytes, right?
All of them.
Her her hair got curlier and more, and had more body in it. You know what I mean? This is the only thing that changes in her hairstyle. But to be fair to the show, they do get an Emmy nomination for outstanding hairstyling for this
Nice.
episode.
Good for them.
Yeah, not for makeup. Not for makeup, just a hairstyling. So there you go. She still knows that Parker's bad through all this ridiculous cavemanery anyways. So Willow is still talking to him. Now they've moved to like a loungy kind of couch and chair
Yeah.
set up, it's a little, it's a little darker. You know what I mean? A little more intimate. I think, is that the word I'm looking for?
Yes.
He says that, he gets to know lots of women, and Willow's okay with that. He says he wants to find the girl he's most at ease with.
Mm-hmm. Get a little smooth, Parker Anderson.
I was going to say, we're going to turn on some 70s soul here in a minute, hopefully.
Some Sade.
Oh, a little Sade. I like where
and
you're.
Then, he plays Love is Taboo because what we're doing is taboo.
The sweetest taboo.
The sweetest taboo.
Yeah. He says that he wants to find the girl he's most at ease with, either in silence or, enjoy talking to and stuff like that. And then he says he's enjoyed talking with her, which isn't a question. And then she says it isn't sharing or connecting. He's just a pleasure principle. She's, how gullible do you think she is? Ridiculous. Then gives him and all men shit about only wanting sex, dragging women, of course, to their caves for it. Men haven't changed since the dawn of time. Ferris.
Not really.
No, and cue the dummies are gonna break through the door with their ensnared women with them. Then they're gonna go and bonk each of them on the head with a stick, knocking out Parker and Willow, for God's sakes. We go back to the room. Xander and Giles watch Buffy just spinning on a chair, which is fun. It's a fun game to play. She then starts slapping the TV, wanting people. Giles is going to try reasoning with her here to no avail. Xander then goes up to her, is told he smells good, or so he smells nice, and the decision is now made to hunt down the other morons. And fortunately, Xander mentions beer, which triggers Buffy, of course.
Beer?
Yep. Giles says, well, you can't have beer. She doesn't take it too well.
She's very upset.
No, she knocks her 2 bells back here and goes on a hunt for morons. She goes on a little moron hunt. You know what I mean? They decide, well, the safest and best way to find her is splitting up. So they split up. Somehow, these knuckle draggers have started a fire.
Yes.
In that little lounge area. Remember, they were afraid of a lighter, but nope, they've created a fire out of nothing. They're no longer afraid of it, it seems. In a matter of moments, it's gone absolutely out of control. Xander then finds Buffy just wandering around the school grounds. He says she can't hold the beer, but he knows that she was already served a magical Mickey. Like, she knows that she's, under the effects of a poison or a spell or whatever, a potion. You know what I mean? It's not the beer. What's he blaming the beer? So Buffy then smells the bad fire. There's all kinds of smoke going. They run over there. Buffy busts down some furniture blocking the way here. Stays back from the flames. Grabs a fire extinguisher. Here, Ferris. We think, okay. Did you ever for a minute think she was...
No.
She's absolutely just going to throw that thing into the fire. Then sees Willow. Something tricks in her, in her brain. So she finds her way over there. We see Xander show up, calling for Buffy. Then he just leaves. Buffy, I tried once. Goes back outside. And then we get to see, he's wondering what happened with Giles. He can do another dummy, not one that's under the effect of anything, just under the effect of 1999. I suppose, you know what I mean? Then we see Buffy sees a window in the thing or whatever, so she does the monkey bars, a couple of pipes, pop that thing up. There was like no smoke where they were. All the smoke was just up near the door, I guess. That's the only people that seem to be affected by the smoke. She gets over there. She gets through the window. The cave dummies knock over a bookcase, which just happened to be right there. They use that as a ladder, I suppose. The two captive girls just kind of wake up, shrug everything off, and just leave as well. Never saying a word. Never saying a word.
They're probably like the college experience.
Yeah, this is what it's all about, guys. This is why we chose. This is why we chose UC Sunnydale.
Absolutely.
Buffy gets Willow out. She goes back in for some reason as Parker starts to wake up, so she hits him with a stick again.
Justifiably.
Oh yeah, that's the one.
You think he got CTE after all the smacking of the stick?
100%, because it is not over for him yet. Of course, as well, he's getting knocked out by a superhero with a stick. So, then I guess she does end up dragging him through the window because he's out the next time we see him. He's out because the firefighters are there. They put the fire out. Xander asks if we've all learned a lesson about beer. Like, it's starting to sound like a 70s cartoon and stuff like that. Yeah, it's foamy. He says that answer is correct.
Yes.
As long as we all know beer is foamy. Now he's corralled.
You know what always that tripped me up about this entire episode?
What's that?
Is how like you think Sarah Michelle Gellar was like, don't put that shit on my face. All right, you're not gonna make me 100%. You're not gonna make me a cave woman.
Yeah, I am not. I am not here extra time. Yeah. Not for this. Not for this. I start pointing at the script. Like, not for this.
Exactly. Okay. I just thought I was the only one who thought that. But yeah.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely. She just shook her head and said, ridiculous. Anyways, Xander's rounded up these other four dimwits into just somebody's car that was unlocked. And these guys can't figure out how to get out. So, good for
they are cavemen.
That's true. But they figured out other things just by breaking it. Just by breaking things. And there's only glass separating them. No. Parker's going to come by to Buffy to apologize, this time for real, from the heart, asking forgiveness yet again. Ferris. This time gets clubbed in the head again. I spoiled it
justifiably,
earlier,
absolutely.
He is going to get clubbed in the head again. The gang all gathers around his unconscious body. And then just take off. It's like, this guy,
he deserved it.
He's been clubbed in the head 3 times, and you think he doesn't have CT. This is within a matter of moments. A matter of moments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's forgotten all his pickup lines, probably.
You know it.
He's more caveman now than the caveman guys are.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Now,
you know it.
Damn it, Ferris, we got through the episode. I had a good time talking about it with you.
I did too. Same thing, Rob.
The next episode is a better episode, Ferris. I can tell you that. All right?
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate you.
I'm going to tell you one thing, though. I hate it. I hate the next episode. Much better. I hate it.
Okay.
It's because it breaks the number one rule in this universe in the worst way possible.
Ooh, I can't wait.
Yeah, this episode is wild at heart. Those who know. That's what we talk about next time. Ferris, it was a pleasure and a privilege. May I say, a privilege talking to you on Rewatchers Council today. And you're a council member. It shouldn't be a surprise seeing you. But now that you're here, why don't you tell people where else they can find you on the Let's Get Ready network there, pal?
Tomorrow, 3 o'clock Pacific, I'll be on our sports channel where me and Caleb are talking about the NFL release. The NFL schedule release that happened on Wednesday. We're going to be breaking down our schedules individually, plus doing win-loss predictions for us. I'm thinking we're going to win about 7 games, maybe.
What?
Yeah, about 7. 6 or 7. You know what I mean? But it's kind of but then or maybe we'll find out. We'll find out.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, we'll find
Uh,
out.
I did really enjoy the Tennessee Titans schedule reveal
Yeah,
video.
them and the San Diego Chargers. I mean, the LA Chargers. Whatever the Chargers, whatever the hell they want
The
to call themselves
the
nowadays.
the Lightning McQueens. The
Yeah,
Lightning McQueens.
go Chargers go. If you know that famous video, um, yeah, everyone was waiting for them and the Titans release videos.
Yep.
The Chargers have made it now an annual thing, and now the teams are all making them like special release videos because the Chargers have been smoking people for the past like 5 to 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, been pretty good. And then just on the rewatcher stuff tomorrow, Angel at 3 Pacific.
Yep.
And then
Look
we'll
up you
try,
tomorrow.
yeah, and we'll see if we can get Iron Man 2 on Saturday at 3 Pacific. Still negotiating that. We'll see about that.
Whiplash. Whiplash.
Yeah.
He is a parrot, guys.
Yes.
Well, on the sports side, we got starting 11. You and I are going to be doing starting 11 this week.
Mhm.
I said that Adelia was straight red carded, and she will miss the rest of the season here on starting 11. That's going to be a lot of fun as things may become clearer this weekend. If not, there's a math thing. Starting 11. Oh, there you go. Who's a lovely voice? I wonder who that was. Now, maybe things will come into focus after this weekend, but I highly doubt it. It's going to, I think, come down to the last weekend. But we'll talk about this weekend. Anyways, it should be a lot of fun. Next, playoff beards is going to happen at some point. NHL playoffs going on. Ryan Christensen was here earlier. I will tell you about the 2018 Canadian team after this. But we'll figure out a time and a place to do that. My Jets aren't looking too great right now, to say the least.
Oilers are in the conference finals.
Ugh, gross. Now, but also the Leafs are on the ropes, so everything washes.
It's kind of a little column A, little column B.
Yeah, everything could equal out here a little bit.
Yeah. And Winnipeg is fighting against history.
Well, it's their own history, but
I was also talking about the President Cup's history.
Yeah, but teams have won it with it. But
no, not the past 25, not the past 20 years.
Well, no, I think Chicago won one when they had
No.
it. But if Winnipeg loses, there's a chance that every team that won their division could be out here in the second round. So it's not great. Washington on the ropes, Toronto on the ropes, Vegas is gone, and now the Jets. So also this weekend, LGRN after Snark, talking about the Andor season finale or series finale. I've only seen one episode of it so far. I'm going to be watching the rest Friday with a bowl of popcorn. I'm going to make a thing of it. I'll be talking about it with Danny, and there's going to be special guests popping up
maybe.
On this bloody thing this weekend. I believe it's at 2:30. Oh my God, Ferris as well. Ferris talks some. It was enjoyable having you on Talking Andor. It's been enjoyable with you here talking Buffy on the Rewatchers Council. And I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in. And I would like to say, in the words of Xander Harris, I'm only 13. Can I get you a beer? See you later.